Hey guys, we're in episode number 2. This is Alex.
I'm Sam.
We're talking about upper relationships.
Specifically, we're talking about how we met. So we have a movie tale to tell you, and it's actually our love story. I had just found acro yoga in 2019, and I had been practicing with a couple of partners regularly. And I decided that for my New Year's, I wanted to do something completely different, something that was totally not me at that moment. And I wanted to go do an acro yoga retreat with Acro Yoga International. It was this fantastic company out of California that was doing a retreat down in Guadalajara. And I thought, oh man, what better way to empower myself, be a badass woman, go have a sober New Year's. And I was super excited, and I put everything on my credit card. I had never done this before. Right before I left, I was getting some weird vibes from him. I was like, oh man, okay,
When she said partner, it was her acro partner.
Acro partner. He sat down and we had a conversation, and I said, hey, I'm getting some weird vibes. I really want to make this clear that you are my acro partner and nothing more. I want to keep these facets of my life separate. Acro is not romantic for me. And he said we were on the same page, so we were like, all right, let's go. And we went down to Guadalajara to do this retreat, but I arrived a day earlier than him.
So you remember that she said that she wanna like a sober New Year's? Okay, so I was in Tulum, where we live now, and I got some friends over home and said like they're going to this retreat. Let's go! It's gonna be amazing. Said we were like having like drinks or whatever, so I was pretty drunk and said like, okay, if I go online and the tickets are less than 1,000 pesos, that is like $50. I was like, I will get it, and I entered to the website like pretty drunk, and the tickets were like $35 both ways. So like, fuck it, I have to go. So I text the girl. I'd been in this place before, so I text the girl that ran it, and I said like, hey, can I come for a couple of days and do maybe some volunteer work? I got my tickets while I was drunk, and I was in the way to Guadalajara. So I arrived a couple of days, a day or two earlier than her, and I was in charge of the tents. And one of them was her and her partner. I'm not gonna say his name.
So, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Now that you have this background information, day one comes. Woo! I am first thing down, like put my bags down, and then I immediately go to the grass, and everybody's already playing. And of course, I play with one of our good friends now, Ganza, and I had never done like acro for me was bird, throne, and whale. Like that was it essentially. So coming into this guy was like, yeah, jump on my feet, but didn't speak any English. So we were like communicating through third person or just by like touch, feel, understanding. And mind you, my understanding was very little at this time. So he put me down, and then Ale, I didn't know his name at the time, ended up calling me over and said, let's play. And mind you, he hadn't been speaking English super often at this point, so his English was a little rough.
I was like, man, that chick. I said like, come play with me.
I told him, let's play later, because I was like, oh man, this guy is super cool, and he was like flying me, like yeah.
So we went to the rest of the day happened, and that night we were in a jam on the shala, and everyone was playing. I was playing with some friends, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave.
He's on his way out, and of course I'm like, hey, we didn't play. And I was bummed, of course. This was my first experience. My partner wasn't there yet, so I was like, I really just want to play with somebody. And as soon as I said that, he dropped down to the ground. And I was like, no, like, we're supposed to be going, like, they're closing. He's like, no, it's okay. He's like, okay, I'm a volunteer here. I'll close down. Like, of course, I'm like,
oh. Yeah, I was putting my badges there. It's like, I got this, babe, no worries.
So, of course, we started to play, and that was our first endeavor together. And
she thinks that's what the end of the night. For me, it's everything is in the same day, but she was
no, it's not the same day, because the next day is when my acro partner arrives. He arrives at half day. So my acro partner comes and we're having a really good day. The jam happens, and at the jam he says to me, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go." And Ale has this thought inside of his head.
Like, oh, maybe they are, because remember that I told you that I was in charge of the tents and I put their tent together. So in my head, I thought they were a couple. These guys told us like, I'm leaving and some stay with me, and they were playing. I was like, okay, they are in a loving relationship. I'm gonna the shit out of her.
What he didn't know was that we weren't in an open relationship, but that didn't matter at this point. We were still just playing, and it's the second night. So at the end of this night, everybody goes around the campfire, and we see my partner there again, but of course he ends up leaving a little bit earlier than us, and everybody ends up leaving a little bit earlier than us. And we're sitting by the campfire, and I ended up giving him a kiss.
Yeah, so she ended up kissing me, and I was like, whoa, 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 what about your partner? And she's like, that's not my partner. And so like, but you're together, you sleep in the same tent.
And I went back to my tent the next day, or that night. The next day, my acro partner had said something super weird to me, and it was like, "Hey Sam, I just want to let you know that I'm not going to hook up with anybody, and I hope you don't either." And my response to this was, I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm gonna hook up with somebody if I want to, and we agreed that we were okay with this. We agreed that we were just friends right before we came here, so I don't see why we're having this conversation right now. And at the end of the conversation, we're like, okay, we're on the same page, right? And he said, yes, we're on the same page. So we're finishing the day, and another jam comes, and of course Allie and I are playing, and we've been staring at each other the entire time throughout the day. The entire time.
I came and we ended up like spending the night in my tent. Nothing happened.
We didn't go all the way, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, the big point is, I come to my partner, or my acro partner's tent the next morning, and I can feel anger just radiating from him. And I don't know exactly what to say, because we just agreed the day before that we were okay with each other. And I simply asked him, "Do you want to talk?" And his response to me was, I'm leaving the retreat. I was like, I don't understand. Why are you leaving the retreat? I'm not comfortable. Okay, well, what's making you uncomfortable? Well, I don't like you seeing you with him. And I was like, okay, but we agreed that this was going to be okay, that we were just friends. And I was like, okay, you know you're not only leaving me for 7 days of this acro yoga training that we decided to do together, but you're also leaving me for the next 7 days of travel that we're supposed to be doing together, that I don't have the money for, that you know I don't have the money for, because we agreed upon that before we booked the tickets. And I don't know a lick of Spanish. Like, I now have to do this all on my own? Like, are you kidding me? I started breaking down crying. I was so down, I didn't know what to do. I was defeated, I felt really scared. And when I told him all of this, his immediate response was so heartwarming and empowering. It was crazy. I'd never had a conversation like this from another man before. And I told him he's leaving because of us. He is leaving me, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I have 7 days after this retreat that I'm supposed to go travel, and I don't have anybody to travel with. And of course, he gives it 100%, and he's like, Sam, it doesn't matter. Like, who cares about him? You're a strong, goddamn independent woman. Like, empower yourself. Like, go travel by yourself alone. Do this retreat by yourself alone, because you can. Like, you've got it. Just stick with it. And my heart started melting, and I was, yeah. And of course, at this moment, my acro partner comes up to me and is like, Sam, can I have one last word with you? And it's like, okay, cool, yeah, like, whatever you need to say, man, like, lay it on me, because I'm strong now. And he tells me, something along the lines of, I don't think this is cool, like you wouldn't do this with friends. And I'm like, you're telling me you wouldn't hook up with a really hot chick if you had two of your guy friends here? Like, I don't know about that. And I tell him, look, don't talk to me anymore. And he then really quickly turns his story around and is like, okay, wait.
The place is a mess. Everyone knows that this is happening, and the owner of the retreat like called me out because he said like, what the fuck with you? Like you're one of the volunteers here and you're breaking out some couple. What we learned is that the communication is always the best of the best solutions. And this is how we discover about open relationship. And it was like a New Year's Eve party on the place, like 30 individuals, like all like pretty excited, activities, like fun, whatever. And we were dancing together. Like I go and get some drink for us, and when I come back, I was like, what the fuck? She was like kissing another girl, like this French chick, and she is like, come to us, and I was like, yeah.
Starts kissing me. I'm like, yeah, girl. I'll take that.
So when I saw everything happen, she said like, come to me. And when I come, like she started like, I started making out with the other chick too. We ended up the night by ourselves, like having a really cool night.
And this is one of the last days of the retreat. So fast forward 2 or 3 days, I can't remember exactly, but I'm saying goodbye to Alex. At the taxi, I'm crying my eyes out. I swear I've never met somebody within 7 days and started bawling when I had to say goodbye to them. Like, I'm on my way to Guadalajara with my acro partner. We're gonna stay at an Airbnb. We're gonna meet a whole bunch of the acro yogis in Guadalajara. When all of a sudden I get a call.
And I call her and said like, hey, Sam, I can be here. Like we were like an hour outside Guadalajara in the retreat. And I was staying there to help them to put everything together while they were leaving. And say like, I can be here knowing that you have one more day in Guadalajara and I'm so close to you. And said like, if I go today, can I sleep there? She said like, well, let me talk with my acro partner and we will let you know.
Fast forward through the rest of the day, and night comes, and we're all laying on the couch watching a movie, and we're all falling asleep, and Ale finally says, why are we all sitting here when there's a bed?
And this guy said, well, you can go and use it. So like, no, we will take the couch and you can go in the bed. So like, no, I insist. Like, I will stay on the couch and you guys can go in the bed. All of a sudden, we hear the door like slamming the door. And so it's like, oh, we'll send a message to him. What's wrong? And then he didn't respond like for 3 or 4 hours. We tried to call him and.
Yeah. I drop off Ale. At this point, I go back to my acro partner, and after having a conversation with my mom, I lay it on him. I'm like, look, I'm not traveling with you anymore. I can't trust you, nor can I feel safe with you. So let's just separate.
And said like, why you don't come to Tulum and spend like 7 days and then you come back again to Guadalajara and take your original flight? It's going to be cheaper than changing your flight.
So I call up my mom and I'm like, Mom, what do you think? And she's like, do you trust him? I was like, yeah, I do. So I booked my flight to Tulum.
And I'm there in the airport, I'm all ready to travel. What the fuck, there's a huge strike and my flight got cancelled. So I got rescheduled, I wait for that flight, boom, cancel again. Like huge strike, everything were cancelled. So I had to book another flight for the night. Like I'm just at this point, I'm losing money. I get a huge thing with the airline coming out. My third flight, it's in the flight with her.
So I'm about to go to the airport and I find out that I'm actually going to be flying with him to Tulum.
It was pretty fun, and then we ended up having a really beautiful 6 days in Tulum. We went to the beach, we like ride our bikes everywhere, we went to cenotes.
I feel like we mostly stayed 4 days in the place.
She went to the States, I got to come back to Argentina for a wedding. But then remember, it's 2020, so everyone knows what happened. And
COVID.
While I was in Argentina, I was still texting with her, but we didn't know if we would see each other. Like she come back to the States, and like 3 or 4 days while I'm in Argentina, she said like, oh well, you know what? I just got some tickets to go and visit you and meet your family there. And I was like fucking stoked. I was like so cool and said, okay, this chick is taking it seriously. I might have to take it seriously too. Everything got canceled. Argentina is closing the borders. The United States is closing the borders. Everything got canceled around. And she bought me some tickets to go and go to the States. So from Buenos Aires to Santiago de Chile, and from Santiago to Miami, Miami, Atlanta, and Atlanta, Denver. And after like, I don't know, 36 hours or something, I arrived to Denver, the city that she told me it got more than 300 and something days of sun. And I arrived in this like huge snowstorm. And so, well, nothing. Like we figured out, we built a band together in the States, we traveled across like 12 states. When my visa expired, we come back to Mexico because we knew that we can be together here. So that's our story. That's how we met.
Yeah. So we've been living in Tulum since October of 2020 when we came.
Yeah.
And what's next? Another episode next week. So send us your comments.
Yeah, comment on this link. Follow us on Instagram. It's Acrotravels.